And now it's time for the Top 5, sponsored by the Fort Worth Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Welcome back to the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show. Time now for a Top 5. This week we're counting on the top 5 father moments / imagery in sports. Obviously it's Father's Day, so we wanted to celebrate those moments that make fatherhood a little more special. And let's kick things off with number 5 on our list, Team Hoyt. For those that haven't heard the story, Rick Hoyt was diagnosed as a spastic quadriplegic with cerebral palsy at birth, but his parents didn't give up on their son's future. His dad, Dick, competed in endurance events, including 72 marathons, 6 Ironman triathlons, and 32 Boston marathons between 1980 and 2014. A remarkable story of perseverance and just the love between a father and son. His dad obviously pushing / carrying him the entire way. Joe, your thoughts?
Fantastic stuff. I first came across this story on Real Sports with Brian Gumbel, and the love that guy has for his son and wanting to keep him engaged and involved is absolutely fantastic. Great way to start the list, Andrew.
Well, thank you. Finally, compliments on the top 5. This is what I'm here for. All right, number 4. Richard Williams welcomes the world to the Williams Show in 1999 at the Lipton Championships as Serena faces Venus, marking the first time ever 2 sisters faced off for a tennis title. They then contested, obviously, 4 straight major titles from 2002 to 2003. I felt like I had to get the father Williams involved in this. Nick, what were your thoughts on the Williams sisters and their impact?
Yeah, I mean, they've been incredibly impactful on tennis. I don't know how the guy that pushed his son through all those marathons isn't higher up on the list. I mean, he's like carrying his kid through all this. Like, that is an amazing father moment. We also don't have to watch the movie that's on the Williams sisters and talk about this list. We'll just leave it at where it is.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. All right, moving on quickly here to make sure we get through all this. Number 3, it's hard enough to hit a baseball. How about hitting a home run in back-to-back at-bats with your dad? September 14th, 1990, Ken Griffey Jr. and Sr. became the first father-son duo to accomplish the feat against the California Angels. Baseball is already renowned as a great father-son sport. This obviously is a special moment, even in that echelon. Jonah, your thoughts?
Andrew, you're just hitting me right in the millennial feels. Anything Ken Griffey Jr. related, you are shredding the 90s core of me. Yeah, of course. You know, a lot of kids who grew up in the 90s, they love Ken Griffey Jr. They didn't really actually know a whole lot about Ken Griffey. It wasn't until they had to go back and read about it and look into some of the archive video. Amazing moment. They need to bring back the baseball video game of Ken Griffey. That thing was a banger.
No, I'm with you on that one. All right, number 2. One of the most iconic images in golf history, Tiger Woods hugging his father after winning his first Masters in 1997. This may or may not have been lower on the list had it not been for the fact that he got the perfect sequel in 2019 when Woods hugged his own kid at Augusta as a dad. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's the circle of life, man. It doesn't get much better than that. We know how Earl prepared his son, the things he did, Earl's military background, the way he would treat Tiger, as difficult as he made things on his son, knowing that it would make him better. And believe you me, the most important club in Tiger Woods' bag was the 15th club. It was his mind, and that was cultivated by his father. And the fact that Tiger had a chance to hug Charlie after he came back and won when many thought he couldn't, circle of life moment, man, that is hard to beat. Incredible stuff.
And finally, at number 1, and this is, for me, I think, maybe not an obvious one, but tops above all. 92 Barcelona Olympics, Jim Redmond carrying his son Derek across the finish line. Derek was competing in the 400-meter semifinal when his hamstring blew out and he collapsed on the track. His dad then helped him up and they finished the race together. It is, to me, the quintessential moment of fatherhood. They are not just for the victories and the celebration, but for the bad times as well to support us when we need it most. Nick, your thoughts?
Yeah, this is just an incredible father-son moment, and I'm not a father myself, but I know that if I ever had a moment like that where I fall, I know my dad would be there for me, and I know that he would carry me to the end, and it's amazing that you start the list and end the list with fathers just carrying their sons through some of the hardest moments of their lives.
Jonah, I'll open this up for the rest of you guys with this. Not even necessarily sports fatherhood moments, but the moments for you personally that you've had a connection with your dad in sport.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the shirt I'm wearing, I'm going to try to hold it up so you can see it. You see that? It says Newton Soccer.
Yeah, we got.
I'm very bad at framing. There we go. You can see it. Newton Soccer. This is from the year 2000. This was the shirt that my dad wore when he coached our soccer team. As I grew up, about 15 minutes from where Joe is right now. Incredibly influential. I wouldn't be the person or the sportscaster or the sports fan I am without him. So yeah, everything.
Nick, your thoughts?
Nick, Joe, what about you?
Yeah, I'll do maybe a negative one for my dad. The first time I ever beat him in one-on-one playing basketball, just an amazing moment. I'm 6'3", my dad's about 5'9", and so I grew a little bigger than my dad. By the time I was 14, I could beat him one-on-one, and it was just a moment that we shared as father and son. It's one that, in your life you'll never forget.
I definitely have not experienced that. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I was very fortunate, man, because I grew up around a baseball field thanks to my dad. He was the coach at our little Catholic grade school in Houston, Texas, and I could still remember being 5 years old, and the first thing I learned was how to line that field and get the chalk straight all the way from home plate all the way to the foul poles, and it was fantastic. And the education that I learned being around him, he taught me math through sports. I was figuring out batting averages when I was 5 and 6 years old, trying to do it before the graphics would pop up on the TV screen. It was just a fantastic foundation for him as a father. So just great stuff. And kudos to you, Andrew Cely. Way to produce this thing out. Way to get a good top 5 list this week. This wasn't one of those goofy ones like you normally do. So congratulations. Is that a good enough backhanded compliment for you?
Yeah, sure. I suppose so, Mr. Father of the Sports Department. I suppose I'll take that one.